Good evening. Good evening. That's perfect. Thank you. I'll do this up in a second for a minute. Thank you. I am Bryan Starchman, and this is our first new experiment I'm trying called ONOs, one night only shows. It involved my advanced drama club, actually advanced drama class over here of 15 students. Some years I have 8, some years I have 35, this year I have 15. And so we have been practicing true improv in class, and also a one-act play called Bad Auditions by Bad Actors. And the nice thing is my athletes and people who are involved in other activities can be in a play because it's one night only and it's on a Thursday. And then tomorrow night, go and watch us kick butt on a football field. So, this is also our very first Grizzly Got Your Tongue improv show. Tonight we're going to play 6 or 7 games using your suggestions, and our actors will play out the scenes. We'll introduce each game to you with a flashy little video. And hilarity will ensue. When we present the act, the one-act comedy Bad Auditions by Bad Actors, written by Ian McWethy. So no intermission, we'll go about an hour, and then we're free to greet our crew members or go on home safely for them. How many have been to a live improv show before? How many of you have seen Whose Line Is It Anyway? Okay. They are taped, so they have the option of editing. We do not. And so this show is rated PG, but things happen. So I will be asking for suggestions from the audience. I expect you to be PG, and they say, well, you know, some PG movies. I'm not even talking Disney PG, I'm talking Starchman PG. All right? I trust each one of these individuals very much, but if something slips, I guarantee you it is a slip. It only happened a couple times in rehearsals, but the first rule of improv is never say no! So sometimes I say things they shouldn't. So, let me start with a little video we have here. Now, this is our brand new projector, which is 5,000 lumens, and this is the only thing I found that it would not light on fire. I guess it's not wood. So if you see smoke at any point, please say, hey, smoke. When I do ask for suggestions, I will try to take the first 2 or 3 that I hear. Some I will ignore. Please keep it appropriate so we don't have to have you escorted out by Mr. Jensen. Or even worse than my football players. And so you guys need to warm up the same as us because you're going to be using your voices for our very first improv game. So I'd like to get my actors up on stage. And we do this every day. This is called our vocal and bass warm-ups, and I want you to do them along with us. They're going to hopefully give you good examples. A few rules, like I said, keep everything PG, please. That's what makes improv so fun, is not knowing what's coming next, but also makes it very scary. Thank goodness for tenure. Rule number 2, please only participate when we are asking you to participate. And finally, rule 3, do not touch the actors. They are known to bite. Good. We're going to start with posture. We're going to sit up nice and straight for me. Posture! It's basic to all stage movements! A few easy tongue twisters for those of you who don't know them. We're going to say red, leather, yellow, leather 3 times. Let's do it together. Ready? Go.
Red, leather, yellow, leather. Red, leather, yellow, leather. Red, leather, yellow, leather.
Everyone know how much wood? If you don't, you take out a childhood. All right, how much wood? Go wood, chuck, chuck. Ready? Go.
How much wood will a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck would?
Try something a little harder. She makes a proper cup of coffee in a copper coffee pot. One more time. She makes a proper cup of coffee in a copper coffee pot. Ready? Go.
She makes a proper cup of coffee in a copper coffee pot.
Simple Caesar, zip to snifter, seize to sneeze and sneeze that chew.
Simple Caesar, zip to snifter, seize to sneeze and sneeze that chew.
We'll make it easy again. Shave a cedar, shingle, thin 3 times. I tend to spit on this one, so this is a spray zone. Shave a cedar, shingle, thin 3 times. Go.
Shave a cedar, shingle, thin. Shave a cedar, shingle, thin. Shave a cedar, shingle, thin.
And last one to keep a little local flavor here. 5 flying flies flew freely through Fresno. 5 flying flies flew freely through Fresno. Ready? Go.
5 flying flies flew freely through Fresno.
An actor needs a soldier's discipline. An actress needs
A soldier's discipline.
take me.
First,
You drop something.
pick it up your character.
When on stage.
Shake your character.
When on stage. When on stage. Gun goes in the
Trash.
And cell phones are turned on. Put away. Starchman will
Be them.
Please turn off your cell phone unless you're using the camera. Thank you. Now we're going to do some faces. You need to really exaggerate these faces for me. The first one's called sun face. So whatever sun looks like, not like, burning, but more like happy sun. Sun face.
Burning face. Angry. Surprised. Confused. Sleepy. Flirtatious. Roller coaster. We're going to do our war face. The war face is when you drop your weapon and all you have is your face. War face. Ah! Poker face. Evil genius. And deer in headlights. And let's do seasick. And a ninja. A pirate. And finally, this is from Saturday Night Live. It's called Laser Cats. They're cats that shoot lasers. Laser cats. I get paid for this. And I love when the principal comes by. I've got a class of 35. And they're all much whirling water. It's like a cult in here. All right, we're gonna finish with Mr. Turner, who taught here for 30 years before me. His mantra was be loud, be seen, be great, drama forever, and I carry that on to this day. So, be loud, be seen, be great, drama forever. Ready?
Be loud, be seen, be great, drama forever.
Thank you. All right, we're going to play our first game, and so most of you can take a seat, but I'm going to need Brandon O'Brien, Tom and Cunningham, and Taylor Woodward. And Taylor, which side are you going to be on? Princess, yes, over there for me. Tom will be in the middle, and Brandon, you're going to be on the left. And these are your leaders, so go ahead and get that. I want you in the audience. Yep. Down in the audience, yep. They're going to be leading you with a little improvised story here. And right in front of you. And this is really good, because I wrote this about a half an hour ago. All right. So this is going to be the Prince group, not Prince as in, but Prince, like a prince. Whenever you hear the word Prince, there's a certain phrase you're going to say. So let's get this gentleman here. And I want you to give me the best. I'm the Prince.
I'm the Prince.
Can we warm up enough? A little more. I'm the Prince.
I'm the Prince.
All right, so whenever you hear Prince, this group's going to say,
I'm the Prince.
I
I know it's only $5, but come on, folks. All right. I'm the prince.
I'm the prince.
Every time you hear prince. Over here, the prince is going to have a pet, and so, hello, Sage. Sage, please name an animal.
Cat.
And what sound does a cat make?
Arf.
We'll go with that, all right? Every time you hear cat, you're going to say,
Much better that side.
Come on, guys, you big brute.
all right, and we're down here. This is where we have, sir, could you stand up, please? Yes, sir. Sorry, Penny, come on down. My mic just doesn't reach.
Come on down. Sorry.
We're going to have a damsel in distress. And so,
I don't know.
oh, you were. Now I'm like, maybe not. I'm going to say, I want you to say, help me! Help me! That was either going to end very well or very badly for me. Thank you. So, when you hear damsel in distress, beautiful. All right, then we have some group sounds. There's going to be a dragon involved, and when you hear the dragon, you're going to roar, but we're going to roar from this side all the way over and back. So let's do it together. Dragon. At the very end of the story, we're going to have the line, which is very Monty Python, and the villagers rejoiced. And so I want to hear a very sarcastic yay from everybody. And the villagers rejoiced. Yay! Beautiful. All right. Here we go. Once upon a time, there was a prince.
I'm the prince.
And his pet cat. Named Fido. They lived in the faraway land of Bootjack. And the prince.
I'm the prince.
Was on a quest with his pet cat. To rescue a damsel in distress from an angry fire-breathing dragon. Very nice. The damsel in distress had wandered off one day while searching for the rare mineral called Mariposa. Her father called on the prince.
I'm the prince.
And told him he could rescue the damsel in distress. That the prince
I'm the prince.
could marry his daughter. The prince
I'm the prince.
was not very brave, but he was in love with the damsel in distress. And so he brought his pet cat along with him because his pet cat was an expert in Taekwondo. The prince
I'm the prince.
sent his pet cat into the cave, and when the dragon, very nice, saw the pet cat try to use his Taekwondo, the dragon laughed so hard that the cave collapsed on the dragon. Last time. Thank you. But the damsel in distress and the prince,
I'm the prince.
his pet cat, escaped in time. The prince
I'm the prince.
and the damsel in distress got married, and then his pet cat was the best man. The villagers rejoiced. All right, just a round of applause. This is one of our favorite games. You'll know this is Clue. You'll know this is some people call it Murder, Murder, Murder. In my classroom, no one dies. So this is called Dabba Dabba. I'm going to show you a little preview of how it works, and then I'm going to get some suggestions from the audience.
I can get the floodlights. Mr. Marcus? No one's they fight for this game. They love this game. Kylie Treese, Megan Vandenover, and Adam Caracco come up on stage. So I'm going to, Kylie Bazinet, if you will be our assistant, I'm going to have you, you're starting for us, right? I'm going to have you escort these two out into the hallway. Thank you. And then Sawyer, you'll, actually you can go back out and grab them when we're ready. Alright, so they are going to have no idea what's going on in here. Kylie's the only one in on it. And so, as you saw, we're going to have an occupation, we're going to have a location, and we're going to have a murder weapon. This is what we call attempted murder. And she is so scared, the only words she can use are...
Dabba dabba.
Yes. And she will be given a time limit. So she's going to have to explain to the person coming in where the occupation of the attempted murderer, the location of where it happened, and the murder weapon. And then, like a game of telephone, that person's going to have to try to tell the third person. When they think they know, they point to their eye and they go whoosh. If they're going over 90 seconds, I cut them off, and we see what happens. So, I want this to be very different. You don't want to be a teacher with an apple, all right? That's too simple. So, I need an occupation. All right. Okay. I heard Batman. Let's try some hands. There's a lot more of you than I thought we'd have, so thank you. Let's go with a location that has nothing to do with Batman, so not Gotham City. Yes, sir.
Europa.
Oh, that's going to be too hard for you. Let's get a little more generic.
San Diego.
California. Give us
Compton.
Give us a city. Salt Lake City. Salt Lake City. All right. It's improv. All right. And lastly, a very bizarre murder weapon.
Pencil.
David. We already saw a banana in the skit earlier. Kids.
Rubber chicken.
Rubber chicken. Rubber chicken. Okay, so I don't think we're going to have trouble with Batman. We'll see. Salt Lake City and a rubber chicken. So, if you can please go and get our first victim. Thank you. Yeah. By the way, I played this in class, and the kid was like, "It's this." He didn't understand the game, so don't yell out the answer. Thank you. All right, Megan. This is Kylie, and she's just been attacked. And so we're going to start with the occupation of the attempted murderer, and you've got 90 seconds. Let's go.
Dabba 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 dabba. Dabba dabba dabba. Dabba dabba. Dabba dabba.
What did we say about I have to eat it now?
Dabba 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 dabba. Dabba dabba. Dabba.
Yeah, 30 seconds.
Whoosh!
All right. Location. Seconds. And finally, what was the murder weapon? So we're going to start with the occupation, Adam. 90 seconds. Oh, dabba dabba dabba. 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 Oh wait, no, that's... Dabba, dabba. 30 seconds. Dabba. 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 Whoosh. Okay. Dabba, dabba? Dabba. Rated PG, dabba. Alright. Dabba. 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 Okay. If they don't get it, they get an F in my class. All right. And we got a weapon. Dabba, dabba. Whoosh! I think I'm going to see. Adam, we'll start with you. Give him a round of applause. He's a little too confident, I think, for his own sometimes. What was the occupation?
The occupation was, oh wait. Superman. Being Superman.
That's close.
What do you think it was, Megan? Be more specific? Pick one. We have Batman. And this will be interesting. Where was the location? This is the hard one. Location.
I thought it was a table. Water table?
Yes, it's a water table. Alright, what do you want? Cafe by the pool. I was trying to work some things in there. What was it?
Salt Lake City. Oh.
The lake. Yeah. Alright. We usually get 1 out of 3. What do you think the weapon was?
Rubber duck.
Yes! No!
A chicken? A rubber chicken.
Yeah. This is a good thing though because they're all seniors, and if they fail my class and don't graduate, we can play with them next year. just off stage with your podium. I'll call you out in a minute.
No, it's not. Oh, that one's
And so let me start with the right side over here. Let me go with some hands. Let's start off with things that he may know something about, but he's got a rant as long as I leave him up there. So let me get some hands. Just a subject that you want him to talk about. Keep it appropriate. Yes, the beautiful young lady there. My mother. Yes, my mother. Ballet. Okay, good. Thank you. And, do you know a ballerina who's male is called a ballerino?
No, it's not.
It is too. I'm related to one. All right, and can I get another topic? Yes, sir.
Trains.
Trains, okay. Model or full size?
Real trains.
Real trains. Okay, let's get a little weirder. Dasha. Elton John. Yes, sir. With all the hair. Yes. I would like to see you remain in one piece. All right, and then this side, you're my bizarre side. Miles. Sorry? Fire extinguisher, all right. And then I want you to make something up. A made-up word, study up something. Yes, sir. Advanced study pan, okay.
Yeah, this is where I play. We're doing it.
That's who I am.
The rule is you got to keep talking until you're talking. Of course. And you know everything about everything?
Everything.
Great. Can you please start by telling me everything you know
You
about
already know.
ballet?
Ballet. Well, it's quite simple, really. Most people think it's such a hard thing to do. But I happen to know someone who personally does it. And she doesn't look like she puts that much effort into it. I'll just spin here, twirl there, and seriously.
Trains.
Trains. All right. So most people don't think of trains, they think of just transportation or moving freight from one place to another, but really complex machines. All right, like a steam engine for sure. Let's take that for example. What it is where they have a fire up here and they have this big boiler. That's what people really think of the train is. That's just a bunch of water. It's really not impressive. The fire is what keeps everything going. So the the engineer has to take that cold wood, oil, throw it in there.
Elton John.
Elton John is a great artist. He's still going to this day, making new albums. He's written tons of classics, tons of hits. Everyone loves him, such as Tiny Dancer. Tons of them. I don't have my notes with me. I just know it, but recall is hard these days.
Anything on Lion King would work.
All right.
Seismology.
Seismology. Well, it has to do a lot with how big or small things are. And the study. It really is when someone takes something like big or small, they look at it like, let's figure out how this is this big. Maybe, how is it this small? And they're really trying to measure things in that kind of fashion.
How a fire extinguisher works.
Fire extinguisher? Well, a lot of pressurized gas. I can remember.
Gas, Mr. Noel.
Well, it's in its liquid form. It's so pressurized. It's really cold. It's missing a lot of energy. And when you pull the pin, you pull it down. It sprays out really fast. Actually, it doesn't cool the fire. It really suffocates it. A lot of people get confused by that because when they use the fire extinguisher on it and they like touch it or something later, it'll actually burn them because the fire is gone, but the heat's still there.
That's pretty good. All right. And the advanced study of ham.
Ham.
Last topic.
Last topic.
Go out as a winner.
All right. Let's talk ham, okay? It's kind of a substitute for Thanksgiving. No, wait, Christmas. They're all alike, so you just throw them all together. It's just a hearty meat, really. You get so much proteins from it. You know, it grows from animals. Everyone loves animals, right? And most of all, it tastes good. Who doesn't like ham? And did you know it comes in a canned form? They call it spam.
I'm actually going to play in the next game. I'm not that.
Right.
Attacked by velociraptors. All right, so Taylor is going to be late to work. I'm going to be the boss. Taylor, if you can please step outside of Kylie, thank you. And her co-workers are going to be Andrew, Martine, Brandon, and Sawyer. You're going to be bossing. All right, so let me come back to the back area a little bit. First of all, let's keep it fairly generic and not too specific to town. We need a place where Taylor is working. I need some hands. Somewhere she is working. Yes. Okay. Yeah. So I need 3 suggestions. Let's start with a basic suggestion, like a reason that you were usually late to work. I'm going to give the gentleman a second chance to not get on here. What's another reason people often use for being late to work? Very nice. Flash on everybody. Stuck at the drive-thru, okay? Here we get a little weird. Let's go over to this section over here. These ladies who look so. What's a little bit more creative reason to give for being late?
Still want to do like a tattoo string to a tea bag. Yeah, like.
What's another more creative reason for being late?
Or like Charlie, that's what I can do.
Okay, good slow driver. And then I'm going to let you guys do weird ones and stuff.
That's so good.
I do a weird one, not the alien guys. Good. Waiting line with a new iPhone.
My God,
Where do I get it from? Okay. Waiting, okay. We're going to do 4. So, you guys can keep track if you need me with me again, I can. We're going to start with stuff at the drive-thru. Second, she's going to have slow driver. Third, she's waiting in line for the new iPhone. And fourth, she got her nose ring stuck on her towel. I know I did it honestly. Thank you, Mom. All right. She's going to have 60 seconds. They're going to, meanwhile, be working at the zoo anytime I turn around. I turn my back. They're trying to pantomime for her what it is that she needs to say to get her job back. So let me go grab Taylor for her. Get to work. Let's work again at the zoo, and the giraffe needs cleaning. Why are you late this time? The third time this week.
It's a very great reason.
I'd love to hear it. This would be a good time before I fire you.
I got my car.
Yeah. You just have something in your car. You got 20 seconds before I move on.
Got my car stuck in the drive-thru.
We have tradition here. When they get it right, we go. Woo! You can help her out as well. She's guessing and she's in the cold region. You can go boo. As you're getting closer, you can say yay. All right. So our next one. All right. Well, you didn't eat here. We have free food. Same thing the animals eat. I think you guys. All right. What was your other? You need to get them off the better seats. You used that last week. Look in the eye. They're shoveling a lot back there.
I was driving.
Oh, again with your car.
Stuck in traffic.
Slow drive. All right, we need something a little bit more creative. This is going to have nothing to do with your car angle this time.
Not either.
Yeah. She was getting really close to me. The elephant's back there.
I was talking on my phone.
Something like your phone. Okay. Not bad. Stop petting them. 15 seconds, young lady.
iPhone.
What about the iPhone? Why would that make you late? Let's get the phone, all right? No? Okay. Well, this is going to be obviously the weird one, so it better be a really, really good excuse for you to keep your job. All right, last chance.
I'm waiting.
Just think about it. It must have been very traumatic.
It was.
Probably involved some pain. Who knows? You might have been up to this morning.
My nose.
Nose ring, okay? Nose ring stuck, okay? It's sounding good. I'm going to keep your job. It sounds valid.
You got my nose ring stuck on a towel.
All right, we've got 3 little games left. This next one goes fairly quick, and it's going to be a Minted Down and Kylie Treese. With the next letter in the alphabet. This is a very sad game for me to try out in my drama classes because I am an English teacher. And for me now, after Q, sometimes comes P. So, we've got the alphabet down pretty well, but sometimes I even screw it up because I get caught in the moment. So, first of all, I need something that roommates would commonly argue about. What I'm called on. Yes, sir.
Using each other's shampoo.
Using each other's shampoo. We haven't had that one yet in class. All right. Using each other's shampoo, and that's all we're going to take. And I need a letter for them to start on, which will also be the letter they end on. Yes, ma'am. What? No, that's the same. No, that's the same. Wow, big Q right off the bat. We'll get it out of the way. And you'll have to use it twice before you come back to it. Okay, using shampoo. And Q, if they stutter or if I just think that their answer has nothing to do with the subject, you'll hear this, and they will get a point taken away from them. Whoever has the least amount of points at the end will win the game, and no prize. But feel good about yourself. All right. So we're starting with Q, and let's see. Let's have. You're always one to be playing. So Minty, you were using her shampoo, and you were confronting her. So you could start with Q.
Quit using all of my shampoo. Precisely why it has such a nice sheen today.
I say, yeah, not for you, you know.
Really?
AP language with me. Let's go back to R. You got R now. Go.
Really? You don't know your alphabet? So you think you're better than me? Totally. Underestimated. That is how I feel right now. You're saying that you use my hair to cover your ugly hair.
You got an X somewhere in there. No, I meant that you get the X.
X-ray, my hair too. You see how fabulous I look. You think it's that easy to get hair like this? Zoos have animals with better hair. Actually, they don't. But can you prove that? Commonly known as the San Francisco Zoo, there are no animals there with better hair. Dude, I used your shampoo. I know you're lying. Eventually, you need to stop using my shampoo. Find another roommate. Go. Leave. Get out of my house. How dare you? I don't know what I did. You used all my shampoo. Just kidding. Didn't use it. Didn't use it at all. This is natural. Knowing that you shower every day, that seems weird that you would say that your hair is natural and that you aren't using all my shampoo and it's disappearing very rapidly. Babe! Maybe not. You should go back to learning your alphabet. No, I don't think I should. Obviously, you need to. Be you.
It was getting a little ugly there for a while, and I accept it. To you. Yeah, I'm trying to catch up to you soon. All right, Eleanor, B, you got B back.
P?
Yep.
Please stop using my shampoo.
And we got it on Q.
Quite interesting that you would say that.
Conclusion.
But you will never have this dude.
Scene. All right. I don't know, that was pretty good. I dinged 3 times, but I'm going to call it even on that one. So, we've got 2 games left. The next 2 make me the most nervous. We'll see. All right. Back on the mic, we're going to put them over here. And this is something we've been playing with, and something that usually takes years of practice, and they had 2 days? Yeah, 2 days. All right. So they're going to hear me ding at times, and I got to switch off the mic. They're going to see some commercials that they have not seen. We've been practicing the commercials that they have seen. These are ones they have not. I will not play test for the whole commercial. They are all as seen on TV ads, but I'm going to mute the sound. And they're going to be the announcers selling the product, and they may not know what it is. Hello? When you hear the ding, switch the mic and pick up the narration where you like. And hopefully, if everything goes right, we get right to our first commercial.
Oh my God, are you sick and tired of seeing your cats go all crazy and stuff? Well, now with this, Cats Meow. Now your cats can play hours and hours without you having to get up and stuff. And oh my God, look at these guys having fun and stuff. And like, oh my God, it's really like, they can have fun all they want and without you even having to get near them and stuff. Because how violent can
Because they even hate it having to touch those furry things. You don't have to. You just put this yellow thing on your floor, and it'll be entertaining for hours and never have to touch it. Because they get to carry fleas, small animals on their backs. It's dirty.
Now your annoying cats can really have fun all day long. So now you don't have to worry about hair, dead mice all over the place, and then you want to don't worry about no more expenses. Now your children can even enjoy themselves even watching your own cats play with things. I mean, look how bored he is. I mean, literally. He looks like he's about to like just not do anything. I mean, suddenly,
All right.
He's like a white Garfield.
And try this at home. It's harder than it looks. Good job, guys. All right, next one.
Oh no! Tools scattered everywhere. They're on the bottom of the floor, but that doesn't matter. We have Billy Mays here to save us. He invented this great tool. It's like a Velcro arm strap. Chains, scissors.
now you can look like a real person with a real tool man with this. But now with the handy magnetic stuff on this, now you look like nothing will ever fall off. And then you look especially dangerous with this at night. Especially you won't even have to worry about anything falling off. I mean, look, are you tired of doing this, that, everything? Why don't you get that in your mouth? Really? I think that's ridiculous. And now you can think
And with this cool magnetic strip, you call them out, the numbers on the screen, and you get a reach easy. That's what it's called, by the way. We're about to skip that. Oh no, it's a tool bandit. And you just pick it up. If you drop things on the floor, under refrigerators, you just reach that thing in there and grab it real easy. So look at this plumber. He would have had a hard time without that. You just grab.
now you can stop asking your wife for every tool. Man, you can do some real stuff with that. My God, you'll put so much muscle with that. Now, call me Billy Mays here right now, and I'll include another small bandit tool. And you can get all your junk full in 1995, and you can even put this on. Every morning.
I told them that they had two, but they're doing so well, we got one bonus one.
Oh my God, are you tired of peeling the potatoes all day? I am too. And look at me, I just cut myself. Oh my God. Now I can start peeling potatoes like crazy. Like, oh my God, I can start running my own fast food restaurant in 5 seconds. And man, look at all those potatoes. That looks cleaner than me. Oh my gosh. Now I can clean. And look at it, it looks killed to perfection. Without even having to look like a weirdo with these things.
What people don't think about is you can wash your dishes with these things. Because that iron wool or whatever we have on there, you can scrub the grease and grime right off of those. Look, watch this apple, gone. That's like a cheese grater on your hand. It's great. Look at those fresh peels. You can make salads out of those. So it's really making one object two. Great invention. I'm still going then. Look, we can make that easy stuff turn into that easy stuff.
Now you can make really good stuff with this. I mean, you can even liquefy potatoes and everything. You can even go crazy and everything. You can even go all straight on with this thing. You can even sweep all those things all out. And man, look at that thing. Man, I wish I could use all those things without looking weird and stuff. And man, you can scrub off anything now. You can even scrub off the mold for only $19.95. Wait, we don't even include this thing, what it is. But you can make perfect French fries. Perfect French fries. They don't even look, they're not even healthy for you, so you can still eat them. Stop killing yourself with all these things. And then you can tell you know.
Better up here than on there, but I remind them we do have 6 or 7 8-year-olds in the audience. We're going to keep it PG. I had some of you at the beginning of the night give me some questions, and this is not the Montel Williams show. This is the Mr. Starchman show, and we're going to have 3 experts on stage, and they can answer any of your questions and take their advice with a grain of salt. So I'll do the intro video, and we will get our experts up there, and then we'll get it right into our one-act play, bad auditions by bad actors. but turn the sound back on.
And while they're getting that set up, thank you so much. We had $500 worth of pre-sale tickets. This show costs us about $400 to put on with scripts, royalties, a couple of costumes, and the rest has just been stuff that we have. And being able to put on these shows, and so far you guys seem pretty entertained. We're able to bring some money in, and we're actually going to hire a professional improv troupe from Fresno to come up and do some workshops with all of the students who want to learn improv, and then work with my students in the classes as well. So thank you for that. Over here, is Improv in the house? All right, Improv, they said they may be coming from Facebook, but that's where I learned dabba dabba. All right, so welcome to the Mr. Starchman show. We have some pressing questions from our audience, and we have the good, the bad, and I'm sorry to Tomlin's parents, the ugly. They will each get a chance in a different chair, and I collected these questions. I will be a little selective on which ones I use, but none of these have they seen before, and I'm looking through them and just making sure that they will work, because some of you thought you'd be funny and not keep it PG. Or you were just weird. One of our audience members says, I'm afraid of the color orange. What do I do? Good advice?
The color orange. Well, you could do what I would do and just stay away from it. But I would probably get therapy, try your best just to get over the fear, because it's really quite impeding to have a fear of the color orange. The sun's orange sometimes.
Thank you, good advice. Very, very sound and reasoned. Bad advice. I'm afraid of the color orange. What do I do?
Well, I'd say face your fears head on. Find the orangest orange you can find in an apartment store and just paint a whole room orange and just lock yourself in. Face your fears head on.
Thank you. And ugly.
Well, first of all, you're going to be really cold because fires are orange. So you're not going to want a fire, so let's get over the fear.
Thank you, very helpful. Switch seats, please. I told him to keep it ugly, not too ugly tonight.
Oh, you guys are harsh.
And random. Is it better to heat my house with firewood or natural gas? And why? Good advice?
To be honest, you might want to call in a professional about that, because natural gas and flame gas, heat, whatever, they got their downsides and their upsides, so check out your options first.
Great, so they should call an expert. Oh, then you guys are experts. Thank you very much. Bad advice. Is it better to heat my house with firewood or natural gas?
Light a match and see which burns brighter.
Thank you, bad advice. And ugly advice.
Why even heat your house? Like, who needs fire? Who needs warmth at all? Just, sit in the cold.
That's what I do.
Thank you. Christine, one more time. This is a question that's been coming up a lot, and not quite like anything we've had in class. Good advice? What does the fox say?
The fox says whatever the fox pleases. He's a fox. He's just an animal. You don't need to ask him any questions.
Thank you, good advice. Bad advice, what does the fox say?
Go onto YouTube, search what does the fox say, and see what you come up with.
Could you give us an example of some things the fox may say on YouTube?
Ding-a-ling, ding-ding.
Thank you, ding-a-ling, ding-ding. And, Ugly, what does the fox say?
My uncle's a hunter. The fox doesn't say anything.
Let's bring our ladies up. We have one more panel, our ladies. Good, bad, and ugly, and we will then start our play. Sometimes the ladies are even meaner. Good, bad, and ugly, good. How do I express myself better? People never seem to understand me. I've tried art, music, everything, but nothing works. Help.
Well, you've just got to learn to be happy with yourself and accept yourself and your talents and everything that you're good at. If it makes you happy, just keep going with it. Keep doing that art, making that music. Just go with it. And soon enough, you'll find people who accept you for what you do and what you like and who you
She starts out good, but give her time. Bad advice, how do I express myself better?
Well, just let everybody know how you feel. No matter if it's happy, be super happy and dance around. If it's angry, scream and do your own thing in your own little corner.
Thank you. Ugly, how do I express myself better?
I guess you don't. You just find a group and try to be like them.
Thank you.
One clap too long.
I could read this one out class. Okay.
Is my mother-in-law here? Sweet. This will apply to my wife, though. We just got back from Kauai. She is here. I've been stranded on a desert island for 3 weeks with my mother-in-law. What should I do? Is there any way to escape her?
Well, I suppose you could just really get to know each other. That way you don't have these feelings of wanting to escape a family member. And you guys could do some bonding. That would be nice.
Bad advice. I've been stranded on a desert island for 3 weeks with my mother-in-law. What should I do?
Well, I'm not saying cannibalism, but I'm not saying cannibalism.
Thank you, Bad. If that's bad, I don't know where it goes from here. Ugly. I've been stranded on a desert island for 3 weeks with my mother-in-law. What should I do?
Well, put simply, put PG. You have extra meat.
Thank you. Christine? All right, we'll end with this one. Got a lot of in-law problems. My father-in-law is very sensitive. How should I tell him that his breath smells bad? Good advice?
Well, I would start with little things like giving him a toothbrush. Maybe some mouthwash. Some mints.
Thank you. All right. Bad advice?
Well, I guess you could just, walk into, if you happen to walk into a room and then he's just talking, you could just flat out say, something stinks in here. That's where it goes.
ugly advice.
Well, food makes your breath smell bad, right? So I'd stop feeding him. Really, you want to stop the problem before it starts.
Thank you. All right, actors in your places, give us about 30 seconds and we're going to start our one-act play, Bad Auditions by Bad Actors, written by Ian McWethy. Thank you for being a great audience.